Herbstwind Hello guys, welcome to the stream. So today I want to take a look at the documentation and refactoring of the MPC forces extractor. So as we have been working on this one, it's it's converging to a state where I think it makes sense to also rename it a little bit and restructure it a bit. So that would be a step before I do the documentation maybe. And so then let's do that. So basically, what's refactoring? So refactoring here means that I will take code from existing classes and restructure that, rename it. We have done that in the previous stream too, with the mpc forces tools, right? So this was spc forces tool, and that was not really the proper naming. Yeah. So basically, what do we have here? There's a playground. We did need that to test something, but I think it's not needed anymore, so we can drop that. So let's delete it. And here, this NPC forces or NPC tools has this class called NPC force extractor, and I think all that could be more or less in a separate class, right? Even maybe multiple classes. So I will do that. So let me think of a good file name. Yeah, I could also leave it here and just extract a main method into a main. That could also be good. Yeah. Let's try that and see how we like it. So basically this here, this main, this is the core of where we are gonna start a program. If you would want to build a command line tool, then you would do that in this fashion. So basically here's just a bit of an import needed. Oh. A bit of an import needed. OS is not needed. I think that's it. So you have, if you would want to build a command line tool of it, so you would do something which has this as an input parameter. You check what do you need really. You need a block size, you need wait a second, where is this? Yeah. So basically you need the input folder, the input file path to the FEM file, the input file path to the MPC F file, the output folder. So yeah, the output folder, and a block size. That's basically all there is. It's not much. So this is now being extracted here, and the MPC tools, is that the proper name for it? No, I don't think so. Let's call it maybe force extractor. What's the... Yeah, I think the convention is that you do underscores, like so. Force extractor. Okay, so we have a main method. We could use that, and I think all the task file has to be redone. But yeah, that doesn't concern me too much right now. But normally it should be then later possible to execute the main methods like so. You are in Hyperworks tools here, And then you could do something like Python -m and then mpcforces-tools dot main. No. Relative module names are not supported. Is that relative? Aha. Module not found. No module named RK. I think that makes sense because I think... Oh no, it does not make sense. So in main line 1, no module named MPC force extractor. MPC forces tools dot MPC force extractor. But that's not what there is. So this is maybe just an update issue. I have to run it once more. Yes, I think that works now. See? So you can run it like so. And maybe that's the way forward. How to do this. Could be. Not 100% sure, but it's definitely a little bit better structured. So we have the main method, which does exactly what this should be doing. And yeah. And then the main method creates the MPC forces extractor from this. We could think of dividing maybe this a little bit more because the class has a lot of methods. Also, yeah, you could argue if it makes sense to having the summary method, which it writes, also in there just as a method of the MPC forces extractor and not in its own class. Normally, I would say that should be in its own class. Yeah. I have to think more about this. What's better? But for now, I will leave it there. It could be that we have to change that in the future. That's definitely possible. That's definitely possible. But for now, I would say it's okay like that. And I'm still a little bit, yeah. I'm a little bit thinking about renaming the package here once more. I think with package names, the convention is to use dashes instead of underscores. So would it be better to use MPC forces-tools, or is it better to have MPC forces-extractor? MPC forces extraction? Not sure. So what's definitely clear is that this is one tool. It's not tools. So I'm not liking too much the idea of that being tools. So I would more like it to be MPC forces extractor. Now, I mean, all is completely screwed, right? So we have this, which we have to replace. So we could replace that with MPC forces dash extractor and replace all. I think we have to do that multiple times because also here I think we have to do that. Where else? Now let's just test it, right? So the things here did work with all the refactoring. So you see a lot of files are changed and removed and moved. So it's always a thing where you should be careful because there's a lot of files changed. But let's see if task run still works. If that... No. What does it do? Poetry run mpc forces extractor dot mpc tools. Yeah, it is dot main now. So this is the only thing where we have to change that. Dot main. Yeah, you see it's the same command as we did do earlier. So task run again and see if it works. Let's also see if that... No, failed run. No module named mpc forces tools. Where is this coming from? Still in the line 1 in main. Ah, okay. MPC forces extractor. Oh, why the hell is this red? Do I have a typo here? Oh, I think I made a mistake. Contains emphasized. Okay, no. Let's think about this. Is it really? So I would like to import the MPC force extractor. And this MPC force extractor is in the force extractor.py. So from MPC forces. Yeah. Why does this not work? Okay, so it's not dash. It is underscore. Now we have to change that all again. Okay, let's make an underscore here and here. Okay, let's save that, close, save, close. Let's delete this line and do the one before. So MPC forces extractor dot MPC force extractor. No, that's not correct. So here would be for force extractor, right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean this line is bollocks, yeah. I don't like that line one bit. But now it should work. No. No module named MPC forces extractor dot. Yeah, it's maybe just a read. Sure. Was not saved. Oh man. Whew, I think I have to do a lot of refactoring. So this thing here, we can search for that. Can we replace? Yeah. And now this should be MPC forces extractor, right? And as far as I see, yeah, it's either the test patch methods or something else. So let's be just a little bit bold and try to replace all. Now let's see if it runs. Okay, it runs. So that was progress and it runs correctly. So that's not bad. Okay, I think now the whole refactoring thing would be done. Okay, so this works. Now let's do the task lint and task test. Then can we also, I think, commit this thing? And then I would say I will start a little bit work on the documentation stuff. That we have something. So linting is okay, task test, although testing is not really good right now. It passes, that's good, so we can commit that. And let's just be sure that we don't commit anything stupid. So task file, that makes sense, that it has the correct things here, then in it we'll get a thing moved. Force extractor, yeah, this is just a copy paste, so there's nothing changed, but just having new lines, main, etc. Let's just move. Entities are all just green. That's all green. So it's just moved into different directories. That's all there is, right? So you can see it's just deleted and yeah, having a lot of green files. So that makes sense. Although you cannot really see the difference because the old files are deleted. If you check here, for example, model readers and model readers old, it had something here which is which was different. But anyway, I think we can safely assume that this works as intended, as we have checked that it works. Now let's commit that and let's just name that refactoring. So because we did not add any new functionality, so we just refactored a bunch of stuff. It should all go well, I think, because the task linting worked and the task test worked. But you're never sure with that. Yeah, okay, that worked. All right, so the documents now. This is a little bit a thing for me which I did not do too many times. So you may see me struggle with that a little bit. But yeah, either way we'll make that. Now, before that, I think there's still a little bit more house cleaning to do. And this should be that I think the poetry file has some things which are not really needed anymore. For example, matplotlib was added because of the graph visualization, but in the current stage we don't have that. So I think I would move that to here. Oops. To here. Yeah, because then I think that makes more sense to have it here, and then Python, NumPy, SciPy. Do we really need NumPy and SciPy? Networks we need, that's for sure, but let's see if we need NumPy. Yes, we need it here. In entities.py. Where did we need the NumPy thing? Let's see if we have something here with NumPy. Ah, with the KD tree. Okay, NumPy is perfectly fine, and I think then also the SciPy things, right? Yeah, the KD tree comes from SciPy. Alright, so this makes sense. So going back to the poetry file, to have SciPy NumPy as a dependency for the running, that makes sense. And all other stuff is development. Yeah, so that makes sense. Okay, so we can say we update something here, poetry, matplotlib, to move to dev. Yeah, because the graph visualization is currently not just for debugging feature, and I don't have something in the poetry file which resembles that for usage in the user scenario. So you as a user will not use matplotlib if you're just using the program as intended with the main method. All right, so this is that. Then now let's go to the poetry, to the Python thing here, to the GitHub page. Let me see where it is. And yeah, let's just also add a new issue for the documentation, because then we have a branch and that makes more sense. So add a little documentation for users to check. Okay, so that makes sense. So label would be an enhancement or documentation even. Yeah, both. Yeah, so let's do that. I think that's self-explanatory. Let's create a branch for it from the development branch. We can then fetch and commit to this branch. So fetch. Let's close all. Let's switch to the development branch for this issue. And now, basically, I'm now a little bit copy pasting or following the guide of the series we did together, or my friend and me did together, Professional Python, because we have laid it out there all in a simple way, and we will see if it runs there. So basically, what do? We want to have something like a documentation server, more or less, which you can check, like a little help. Not as big or as complete like FEA software help or something like that, but just a little bit of a documentation. If that tool here somehow makes its way into production and is used very often or so, maybe I can add then on exactly that location a little bit more documentation. Okay, so how do we start? So first of all, we should add some poetry dependencies. And yeah, I think there is some issue between the MD bomb and the mkey docs material regarding Jinja 2. To be honest, I'm not caring too much because I think this the MD bomb, I'm not sure if we do that. So the MD bomb, that would be a bill of materials, a software bill of materials, I think. Yeah, but let's see about this. So first of all, what we are needing here is the MK docs and the MK docs material template. Maybe also we change that later for a different template. But let's go with the tutorial. Let's make it the same. So we add for the development things here, we add the MK docs and MK docs material. So that makes sense. And then we can create a new MK docs instance, right? So let's wait for this to finish. And let's now run mkdocs new and then dot. This should create now some new files here. Yeah, there's a docs folder and there's an index.md. Right, so that's that. And then also there should be a YAML file. mkdocs YAML. Yeah, so there's a site name called my docs, and that's that. Now we can have some edits here. Okay, what could we do? We could just copy the thing we have from the repository. Yeah. Or we could do it by ourselves. So basically, let's do it ourselves. So this is the MPC forces extractor. Right, so this is how the thing is named. Then the site URL we can do. That would be, I think, the GitHub code URL. So I think I will just paste this thing in here. Maybe we should also rename that, to be honest. Later. So that would be the URL. And then we want to have the material template. So we can do theme name material. I'm not sure if we want to have the color palette here. And then nav is correct for the different pages. So there could be a home page, yeah. And this is index.md. And now there should be something else. There's now getting started. Yeah. Maybe also something like a FAQ. Right, something like that. I think this is, if you have spaces, you need the things here, right? But the thing is too that we also need the markdown files for it. For right now, we don't have the markdown files for all those guides. Let's just do it the minimum way. So getting started makes a lot of sense, then examples makes a lot of sense, and then about, let's skip that. That's maybe not so necessary. Maybe more a quick start. Yeah, let's maybe rename that and say that's, to be honest, I like it way more if you have something like blue and orange. That makes more sense, right? It's a quick start. And then let's also rename that to quick start. All right. Now why should we have something like that? All right, so that should be it. So home, quick start, FAQ, examples. All right, let's create those MD files, right? So we have the docs folder, and the index MD is already here. So we could basically do something here. Yeah. Let's first create all the files necessary for here. Is it something like this? With the index we should, yeah, that makes sense. Then we also have to see how it's being done with links and stuff like that, right? So, but for now, let's just create some simple content here that we can see if it works or not. So examples, here will be examples. Then the FAQ. What's the question? Index is filled, and then we have something like a quick start. All right, so yeah. Yeah, you have to be careful with the MD file. So for example, here you see this little yellow thing here. That means it has an error, and this error is no new line character at the ends of the file, which should always be the case. Okay, so this is done. Now, I think to set up now the documentation, we have something like a mkdocs serve. So let's do something like poetry run mkdocs serve. And now it has something here as a local URL. This looks like this. Okay, so we have our FAQ about and stuff like that, and the home is there, but getting started and user guide does not work. Okay, but this is a start. This is a start. We can now change that with the index. So let's see how this is being done. Is that in the YAML file? No. Somehow, I think in the index there should be those links. I don't see it, to be honest. Huh? Okay, so in the YAML file, we have these things, and then we have the quickstart, FAQ, and example. So this is the navigation. But when I do the serve gets me more than what I thought. This mkdocs YAML and docs index. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Wait a second, let me just quickly go again here. So I don't get it. So getting started and user guide are both just wrong, but I'm not sure why they are even there. Let's make sure that we don't have something which was not saved and something like that. Yeah, I think that was it. Right, so we have quick start, FAQ, and examples, right? So we can have that. Yeah, now we just have to fill that information here. Yeah, but I think this is boring, and I think I can also do that by myself. It's not too much interesting for the stream. But for the stream, what could be interesting is something like maybe the code coverage report, stuff like that. So I'm still following just the tutorial from the professional Python course we did. And let's see what there would be as a next step. Where is it? think I closed that one. Sorry, I have to open that once again. Okay. Now that was the docs. So what could be included here is for sure the software bill of material, but we don't have that right now. So also I think there's something like something which we could add to our task file. That does make sense. So let's do that. So let's add here two commands I have. That would be docs serve and docs publish. But I think docs publish, that doesn't really work for us right now because we don't have a GitHub deploy and stuff like that running for now. That will be done in the future, 100%. But for now, I think it's not necessary that we have that. So basically, I think I can also just comment that. That makes sense. Yeah, all the workflows that I have to do when, but not sure when I have the time to do this. Okay, in case we offer a library such as here, we need to document a public function interface. Therefore, we need an additional package, mkdocs strings Python. The feature flag Python indicates that we want to document Python code. Okay, let's install the plugin. Yeah, let's do that and see what we are getting with. That's maybe just a good thing that a user in the documentation can also explore a little bit the code. So we're doing this, poetry add dev, so for the development group, mkdocs strings and then Python in a bracket. And now we have to register that plugin into mkdocs YAML file. So in here, there now should be something like the plugin search on mkdocs strings. Wait a second, I want to go here. Yeah, that's correct. And then we do something like this. As shown above, we need to create a new source file, source code md, on which we document our public function interface. Yeah, so we would need now in the docs a new file called source code.md. Now here the public function, I think, is just the main, right? Not sure if it's dev star. Could also be the MPC. Yeah, I think it's the MPC forces extractor. Dot laser. Nah, dot laser, no, dot main. So cannot find that, right? Should be top level. Ah, okay, sorry. Here should be source code. And here the empty line again. And no trailing space. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. But let's see. So we could now task docs serve. Yeah, okay. Now we can click on that. And this is why I closed the instance before. There's nothing right now. And there's nothing. It's a quick start with the FAQ and the examples, and there's nothing here. Okay, so that did not work. So from my understanding, it should work, but maybe we have missed a thing. We have put the mkdoc strings into the YAML file. right? And the YAML file is also saved. Those are two important things. So it's in there with plugins, search, and mkDocString. So we should see really nicely documented code when running task docserve. But I'm not seeing that. But I made that run in another tool, I think. Let's just do the once more and see if it has something now. To be honest, I would not know where to look at that. So should there be something? Wait a second, I will just see source code. Is there? No, that's just this. So I have now the documentation open again. But there is just commands project layout that doesn't make anything, and then we have the same pages again. So home, quick start, FAQ. So I have to check a little bit why this is not the case here. Huh. Not sure why. Is it maybe a syntax error of the source code? There's no typing error, right? So it's source underscore code dot .md. So that makes sense. And here we have the three dots, three columns, and then we have the class. But to be honest, I'm not sure if that even does something. So maybe I skipped something. That's just a workflow. Maybe I need to have a class there. Could that be? Let's see what this is doing. So devstar.laser is a Python file. And this Python file has methods in it. And the main method has a main method in it. So, it's not too bad. But I think I would have to look at the documentation from here and to see how it's done. Yeah, but I think this is now minor things. I think I have to debug that off stream because that could take some time. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we do that at a different time. So coverage report. So the coverage report is being done and could be added to the mkdocs by adding another tool called mkdocs dash coverage, and I will just add that to here. mkdocs, yeah, coverage, and then should be as easy as changing another plugin here, coverage. Okay. When we run now task serve, you should see a page with coverage report. Really nice. Okay. And if we do that, it should be dependent on something called um called test, right? So we have the description here, and then we should have something like a dependency. Something like that. For later. Right? Yeah, let's see. Task serve. Nee. Doc serve. Okay. So it's doing the testing now before. And now there should be something like a coverage report. Let's see about that. There's nothing as there's nothing there, man. I think there's some problem here. I'm not sure why, but I think the plugins are all screwed. Um, I cannot tell you why. So it installs that, right? But let's maybe just do a poetry update to be sure. And a poetry install and see if there's something to do there. But yeah, because the layout is just it's just like this, yeah. We just have home, quick start, FAQ, and examples. And now we have nothing because it's updating. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, maybe that was. Now I don't think this was the problem. Yeah, but just to be sure that we do a task, no, a poetry install. Because you never know if there's something like internally being built or something like that. Yeah, so now let's do the task doc serve. And let's also be sure what this is doing. It's doing the test, and then it does poetry run mkdoc serve. Yeah, so that makes sense, right? But there's still nothing. The table of contents is pretty strange because yeah, I'm not sure. They're just empty links, yeah. So cannot do anything with that. We have our pages, so that's good. But there's nothing more there here. And I think this has to do something also with the config here. We did do a little bit more than what was expected from us. So theme, the theme is name material, and then we have a palette, color palette. So we just removed this because it was not there. And the plugins, somehow they don't work. I'm not sure why, but the plugins, yeah, to be honest, this URL should should not matter too much. But there is a separate branch to being added, so let's just delete the URL and just making sure that we have that. Does this update in real time? The following pages exist in docs directory but are not included in the nav configuration. Yeah, but they should have. Ah, now I see. Okay, we have to also include it here. Okay, so we have to do something like a source code and then source code. And for sure also a coverage report. No. But to be honest, how should it know that? How should it know that? Is there coverage MD there? No. Source code, yes, but the coverage? Maybe that's what I'm missing. Now let's see the source code. Oh, we have something new. Look at that. Nice. So that makes sense. So we have now this, but the coverage report. Oh, and this works too. Okay. I'm not complaining. So I like the color palette better when it was with the green, to be honest. Or something different, yeah. So Copilot just changed it to light blue, so this is also okay. Oh man. Okay. I would say that's some progress. Don't you think? So we have now home, quick start. We have to fill all those source codes, coverage report, and examples. Nice. Nice. I like that. All right, so that's that. So I can close this and return back to the tutorial. What else we should do here before we can do stuff? So coverage report is great. We have that, and then there's this SBOM. Usually we would also include our software bill of material. Unfortunately, as writing MDBOM and MKDocs material have a conflict regarding Jinja 2, so we don't do this. Yeah, software bill of material. This is more or less like a list of what dependencies you would require that this program uses and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if this still is an issue or is it resolved already. So it's opened since September 15 of 2022. Here the MD bomb is. I'm not sure if this has not really been developed recently. But I think in the issue he stated that he's working on a Go language alternative. Start working on a proper replacement using Golang. Yeah. Should we look if he has done something? Python. No, there's nothing done. Oh, we started acting again. Is it something that in autumn or fall, that's the time where we get a little bit more active again and stuff like this? So it's just me. I'm not sure. Hey, I'm not sure if you're a troll or if you're real, but hi. So yeah, we have a Go plugin here, but I think this is poke bad end. Okay, this is definitely something different. And this MD bomb. Yeah, maybe we have to find something different. Yeah, we could look into the forks. Maybe can see something which is added more recently. But for 2 years, there's nothing been really. Ah, here's something created 6 months ago. That's forked, but it's just being forked and forgotten. Okay, so forget about it. We are not considering ourselves with software bill of materials. Yeah, so what I'm doing is so I was refactoring the code a bit of the mpcforces-tools extractor. So this is if you have if you have if you've seen sorry, I cannot talk anymore today. If you saw the live streams of the last couple of days, you saw that we have been working on this mpc tools or mpc forces extractor, how it's called now. And this tool basically does the following. It extracts the forces per part from OptiStruct runs. What language? So programming language, this is Python. I can do also quite a bit on Java, but basically Python is the language when it comes to machine learning or quick prototypes and automation. I would say Python is definitely the way to go. Yeah, and so what we did today is we changed a little bit of the code, we refactored it a bit, and then, yeah, Java. Yeah, I know, Java. Plain old Java. But yeah, it's still being used. But yeah, so if I would suggest something to learn, Java would not be on the top of my list. I would, if I could start over, I would definitely go more Python, quicker and more Python, and then go Golang. Yeah, for Python, yeah, you can just look it up on my repository. It's nothing too much, but it's considered with mostly so FEM processing tools and stuff like that. But if you want to learn more about Python, I would strongly suggest that you check out the course a friend of mine and myself did together. That's called that's called Professional Python and is available under the GitHub GitHub user tntech. For right now, well, depends on what you want to do, right? So if you want to do machine learning stuff, it's still Python. And I think there's no way we're going away from that. Just the whole ecosystem around Python is pretty good. Then Golang is definitely one pretty hot language. You can do very much with it, and it has now not too much synthetic sugar. So that makes that a good second choice. Then for sure Rust. If you want to really go into efficiency, I would not bother today to learn C++, but go Rust directly. It's a little bit harder to learn, I think, at first. So with the borrow checker and stuff like that, but you have, well, if the Rust Foundation has I'm not really following the drama, but there was quite some drama around Rust back in the days, or back last year, 2 years ago. But putting that aside, Rust is a fantastic language. Secure, thread safe, very fast. So Rust is really good. But to be honest, it's not that easy to do. And on the front end game, I would say it's JavaScript, but I hate JavaScript. I would not recommend doing that unless you would really push that going into the front end development, then you have to do it. But if you can avoid it, go for TypeScript. That's maybe the better option. But I'm not a front end guy, so don't take my word for it. Take this with a grain of salt. So for algorithms, I can speak a little bit, but for front end, I have no idea. I just know it's JavaScript all over the place, and everybody does JavaScript. But yeah, not my programming language, to be honest. Yeah, I'm from Germany, so it's my night stream, or more or less before bed stream. So I'm just doing a little bit of work. So basically, I'm not a software programmer from professional, so that I'm a mechanical engineer. And it's a little bit of a different view onto the world. So compared to a software engineering view. Yeah. So basically, what we've been doing is we've been doing something like a documentation server. So basically we have that now, which covers our code. So we have a code coverage report even. I don't like how it's looking right now, but yeah, so we can go for the code coverage, and we also have a little bit of a source code view on the main file. So we could that's maybe a good thing to later expose the class which handles the command line interface, because I think this thing is definitely very suitable for being a command line interface tool, because you just have 3 or 4 parameters, and you could easily pass them, save them in a bat file or some sh shell executable file if you're on Linux, and then you have just to change the directories and stuff like that, and you can run it. So basically that's the idea. I think also another option would be to put that into a Py installer and just convert it to an executable. That's maybe also something which we could do, to just distribute it and have other colleagues test it out. I think that could also be a very valid approach, because the dependency map now is pretty small. If I look on the poetry file, it's nothing, right? So for users, we have Python, NumPy, SciPy, and networks. That's all. That's nothing. That's not really much. Yeah. So yeah, I think PyInstaller could also work. Yeah, but one step at a time. So I think we now did make some progress for this. Let's see what else we could do in the documentation side of things, because I think there's no way around it to having something like a workflow, but I have to do that off stream all because of GitHub secrets, and I'm not I don't want to share the secret code and stuff like that, and then I have to change it all around, and yeah, before that happens, I'm not used to doing something like that, so that I can confidently say I will not screw this up. So that's what I'm gonna to do off stream. So put on workflows, and once the workflows are being installed, so what's a workflow? Workflow is something that is being executed when you are uploading something to GitHub and it's being checked before something is merged, for example, or something is being pushed onto a certain branch. So for example, the main branch should always be protected by some tests you're doing. Because just think about it, if you have some code which is working in production, right, and this production code is failing because someone just committed some stupid code into the main branch, that's not a good thing. And that happens quite often, or more than you would want to. So something which is being run then is also for different systems and stuff like that. So for compatibility issues, is GitHub workflows. And GitHub workflows allow you to run certain tests or certain workflows and see if it passes or not. For example, you could do some integration tests. Is it possible that the API gets the data in a correct way? Is that possible on Windows, on Linux, and another system? And yeah, I think I'm not doing too much today. Tomorrow I have to drive into the office, so early wake up for me. So I think I will be 10 to 20 minutes or so most. I will end the stream and then work on that maybe tomorrow or the weekend. So weekend is busy for me this weekend, so I'm not sure if I can stream too much. But I've been streaming now every day since I think a week or so. So that's pretty new to me because normally I'm just doing videos, right? So this is just me dropping in at for my time it's 10 p.m. and then I'm doing that until 11 p.m. or so and then drop it off. But yeah, as the last live streams showed me, it wasn't 11 p.m., but mostly it was around midnight. Yeah, so it's if you get the hang out of it, you just continue to do something and then you cannot stop in the middle, and yeah, you know how it is. So this is what has been happening to me the last couple of days, and for now I desperately need a little bit more rest. But yeah, still I would like to push a little bit on this tool to get it at least on a stage where I can push that into production to my engineers to have it run in certain models and see how it goes. Yeah, so this is the plan for doing that. Yeah. Yeah. This is how it's gonna go. Now let's fill out something of this documentation. Yeah, I cannot push it like this. Okay, let's just try to do something here. I'm not a markdown expert, I just know the basics. Let's maybe start with the index. There's just commands, and then we have something like a list. Let's also do the docs serve, task doc serve. And that I can just simply look at how it looks like. And it's a pretty cool feature that this is updating live. That makes sense. So that we don't have to restart it all the time. Okay, so basically this is it, and then we have now this with bullet points. Yeah, I think this is also not bad. Then I think this is the code view, right? With the ticks, single ticks. And what else is there? Project layouts. Here, I'm not sure how this is being done like it is, because the project layout, it has this box around it. Where is this going? Normally, I think there should be something like 3 ticks or so. I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, but we can see what this should be doing. Okay, let's do index at last. So let's do a quick start. The problem is I cannot really do that because the command line interface is not being it's not being done right now. So let's just make something like this, and then to be defined. Will be added later. And then the other file is to run it as with task file. And I think I can, for that reason, I could go a little bit to another page where I have done something similar already for documentation. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Because we don't have to do this all the time. So the task file, for example, that's definitely something in the that's definitely something in here. Wait a second, I have to check that. That should be in docs. Oh man, to be honest, this is not really what I would like to have here. Okay, I just have to little bit do something about my knowledge of this stuff. Okay, a project has a what is it called? Task file dot YAML for your convenience. Yeah, now I have to search for where the task file is. Let's quickly see if that's actually making something which is useful. Yeah, this doesn't do a thing, right? Why not? I think there's another symbol, but I have no idea where to find the symbol. If I just copy that, see if that's more like it. Yeah, this is more likely to be that. Yeah. And then maybe we have to do something like a, isn't there something like bash or so? To have this as a inter that we have to do the coloring, oh, the coloring things. Yeah. Doesn't that work like that? I thought so, but seems to be making no difference. But honestly, it doesn't make too much difference for me, because what I wanted is to have something like this, right? So that makes sense for me to have it like this. So task file, we have that in here. So we have task run and yeah. Okay, alternatively, you can start the tool also with the Python -m. Yeah, something like that. Command. Okay, so I think this is it for that. So SPC courses as source code is fixed already. Then the FAQ, I think we don't need that. Do we need FAQ? I think it should be pretty straightforward. So let's delete that and let's also make an adaptation here into the docs YAML file. So we don't have FAQ anymore. So this is being just replaced. Now we have home. Home is the index, and the index should be something a little bit more. Okay, welcome to MPC Forces Extractor. This is a simple tool for opti struct runs, and it does the following. Yeah, it's terrible language, but yeah, that's all my brain can do at this hour. So okay, let's maybe do also a little bit of a link here. I have to give credit where credit's due. All right. Getting a little bit crazy in the later hours. Yeah, so this is that. Now we have something in the index. The quick start is filled. Examples. You know what? We will skip that too. Come on. Let's make it easy today. So that would be then also in the YAML file. Where is it? Here. Yeah, cannot do it here, but here. And let's do the examples also. Scrub them. Yeah, okay. But the table of contents is still bothering me. Why is there... So we have the navigation, right? But there is still something like a table of contents. Not sure if this is what I think it is. No. No, I'm not sure what this is, but because yeah, you see, wait a second. You see here that's there's functionality and acknowledgements, but I don't see something with that. So where's this thing with the functionality? Cannot see that. Yeah, I think we can maybe Google that quickly. Hmm, I'm not sure. So maybe it's something with a theme. Ah, I'm not an MK docs expert. So maybe we have to get a little bit of help here for um from ChatGPT even. But to be honest, I don't care for today. For today, I'm just going to commit this as it is, even if it has a little bit of a non-functioning table of contents. Yeah, so maybe it's a material template, but maybe it's also something which I did not do. And yeah, so here is it search? No, search is a different thing. MK doc strings, that's also a different thing. So I don't really know where it is. So, but yeah, this is a thing I can research also later at a later stage. Okay, but I think that the documents are pretty good right now. So for initial commit. So I can now do the commit here. This should not fail. Docs. This should not fail because there should not be linting in here. And if it's doing a linting, that would be that would not be a good thing because it's not code, not code in a sense, in that sense, where I want the linting to happen. All right, so we have now done the documentation a little bit, and yeah, so GitHub secrets and stuff like that is to be done for me. Yeah, lots of things to do still. Yeah, but I think we can get that working in maybe a week or so. Yeah, I think that's maybe reasonable. Yes. All right. So anything else which I would like to cover today? Let me just quickly think about it. So after after docs we have commits and changelog, CLI. CLI is definitely interesting. Then Git workflow, API we don't need, and Docker I don't think we need a Docker image. But yeah, so CLI is a good thing. Then Git workflow, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, for sure we would have to have Git workflows at some point. That's that. And then I think we're done. Yeah, so package management, PyPy, and setting up stuff like this is still a thing. Also, changing something in the poetry file should be imminent because the TOML file has still the old things here. So let's call it mpc forces extractor. And here it's with a dash, right? Yeah, I think this is okay. And then let's skip also the SPC forces because I don't think we will be doing that here. I don't think it makes sense. So this should make it a little bit more clear. So that would be the pipe project, the poetry, TOML edit. And then maybe also let's do a renaming of the Python repository. Still a bit not 100% sure if we should do that right now. This also has to be changed later. But yeah, let's just think of it. So from what we have here as a structure, there is no place for another tool, I think, here. Because, or maybe there is, Yeah, I will keep it for now. But the problem is here that the pipe project TOML, this file has the name of the tool here. And this should, I think, should correspond to the name of the repository. I think so. Could be wrong, but I think so. That should be the same thing. Yeah, and then also the PyPy integration and stuff like that. That will be fun. Then we can upload this tool and we can download that with a simple pip install. That will be great, I think. Yeah, because then I can just tell my guys at work just do a pip install and then use the tool and see what it does. Yeah. So that's the plan. All right. Thank you all for being here. And yeah, so if there's anything more you would like to do, to learn, to explore, just leave me a comment. A like would be appreciated. And if there's something more I could help you with, just drop me a mail. All right. Have a good evening, morning, day, whatever it is for you, and see you around. Bye, guys.